This is one more story about the greatest generation, a story that is almost forgotten. It is about how courage and sacrifice helped save America during the early months of World War II. This is the ultimate story of patriotism, gallantry, and relentless faith. This is the story of the tragedy of Bataan. On December 7th, 1941, the same day that Pearl Harbor was attacked, the Imperial Japanese Army launched assaults on Hong Kong, Singapore, Thailand, Wake Island, Guam, and the Philippines. Those Western territories were not able to repel the Japanese, and soon, one by one, they surrendered, all but the Philippines. The American Filipino forces defended the Philippines for nearly 5 months while waiting for reinforcements and supplies from the United States. Their heroic stand reminded many of the siege of the Alamo. The defenders of the Philippines were fighting a formidable foe. The Imperial Japanese Army had modern weaponry, where the defenders were using World War I arms. Medicines were in short supply. Malaria and dysentery decimated the troops. Disease became a secondary enemy. Food also became scarce, forcing the slaughter of all the cavalry horses and pack mules. Without adequate weapons, medicines, or food, the troops kept fighting. They kept the faith. Their country would come to the rescue. Even their general, Douglas MacArthur, sent a dispatch telling them that the United States had pledged to come save them.
From headquarters to all units, help is on the way from the United States. Thousands of troops and hundreds of planes are now being dispatched. The exact time of arrival of reinforcements is unknown. It is imperative that our troops hold until these reinforcements arrive. MacArthur.
So weeks turned into months, waiting for the promise to be delivered. But the United States didn't send reinforcements, and few supplies got through the Japanese blockade. Washington realized that it was a hopeless situation, and the end was near. They couldn't allow General MacArthur to be taken prisoner and be used as a propaganda tool by the Japanese, so President Roosevelt ordered General MacArthur to escape to Australia.
And after MacArthur left, after we heard that he left, well, I said, well, that's it, you know. We're going to be here, and we're going to probably rot right here, you know.
Tacked on the side of a building there was a typewritten piece of paper from him to us, explaining the president had called him to Australia, and for good purpose. And I think that would have been understandable, but I had really trouble with one sentence which said, "Only those who are willing to die are fit to live." You know, from a commander who's leaving. I didn't think that was too sensitive.
The general had made his headquarters deep in Malinta Tunnel on the island of Corregidor. MacArthur's lack of contact with his troops gave him a reputation, and he was given the nickname Dugout Doug. And now, with no help in sight, an American brand of dark humor, born of desperation, began to appear.
Dugout Doug, come out of hiding. Dugout Doug, come out of hiding. Send to Frankie the glad tidings that his troops go starving on.
MacArthur left Lieutenant General Jonathan Wainwright in command with this order: do not surrender. Wainwright took his command on the island of Corregidor. The forces on Bataan were handed over to Major General Edward King. By the time General MacArthur left, over half of the American and Filipino soldiers were afflicted with dysentery, malaria, or other tropical diseases. Many were malnourished, Hundreds were wounded and in jungle hospitals.